Hello there, everyone. My name is Crazy Caleb, and today we're going to be taking a look at Tribal Council. This module is based off of Survivor, which for those of you who don't know is a TV show. It's sort of like a game show-esque sort of thing. And what our goal is we're currently in a tribal council elimination ceremony right now, and what we need to do is we need to prevent ourselves from getting eliminated by voting for someone else. So what we're going to do is we're going to determine 3 of our allies, and the rest of the people will be our enemies, and based off of that knowledge, we're going to be figuring out who we vote for. So let's get right into this. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out our allies here first, which we're going to do by taking the alphabetic position of the first letter in the serial number, which is going to be our base number. So this case is a Victor, it's a 22. We're going to multiply this by the amount of the indicators on the bomb, and if there aren't any, we're going to add 21 to that. Which in this case, we're going to be doing just that. We're going to be adding 21 to that. So let's pop up our handy dandy calculator. We're going to add 22 plus 21, which in this case will give us a 43. Now, what we're going to take a look at is we're going to be taking a look at the northeast and southwest positions of the module and recording their names. So we're going to take the first 3 letters of each of their names, which in this case is CAR and MAR. Now, one thing that's important to note is that there is a Mark and a Maria on the module. In this case, Mark and Maria. Mark is the one with the asterisk next to it, and Maria is the one without the asterisk, essentially. So we're going to add this number that we get from the table here to our current number. And southwest in this case refers to the columns, and northeast refers to the names, the rows rather. Southwest is going to be referring to Mark, so Mark is going to be our column here, and northeast is going to be our row, which is Caroline's, or CAR. We're simply going to be adding nothing in this case. And now, if my number ends up being negative, we're going to remove the negative sign, and we're going to modulo this number by 20, which in this case we have 43. Moduloing this by 20 is going to be simply subtracting 20 until it's less than that, which is going to be a 3. And this is what we're going to be doing here. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to start from the northmost name, and we're going to move clockwise by the amount of names by the number that we had here. So in this case, we happen to have 3, so we're going to start at Adam, and we're going to count clockwise 3 times and see who we land on. So we're going to do 1 to Caroline, 2 to Jonathan, and 3 to Hannah. And this is what we're going to do here. So Hannah is our closest ally, which in this case is the person that we land on, and the 2 people adjacent from that name are normal allies. So Hannah is our closest ally, and Mark and Jonathan are our 2 other allies, the 2 normal allies. So now, what we need to do is, based off of this information, we know for a fact that Luis, Adam, and Caroline, and because they're not our allies, they all plan to vote for me. There are 3 other people voting for you, and your vote is super crucial if you want to survive. So now, what we need to do is we need to figure out who we vote for. So between the people that are not your allies, start with a name that is 2 clockwise from your closest ally. So in this case, the next person clockwise that is not one of your allies. So we're going to start at Luis. And now we're going to go clockwise. We're going to count clockwise by the number of ports times batteries names. So we're going to go calculate that. So how many ports do we have on the bomb? We have 3 ports. So 3 ports. Multiply this by the amount of batteries we have, which is also a 3. So that's going to be 3 times 3, which is a 9. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to start from Luis, and we're going to go counting clockwise based off of the people that that are not your allies. As it specifically says here, we're going to be counting clockwise by 9 different names. So we're going to start with Luis, or we can simply say 3, 6, 9, because essentially what we do is we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can just do multiples of 3, which in this case 9 is a multiple of 3. So Luis is who we are going to be potentially voting off here. So Luis is who we vote up for, but there are a couple deals we might have to settle here, because it's going to be based off of our closest ally as well. Based on who's your closest ally, follow the list on the next page to see if any changes need to be made to your intended vote. So, if your closest ally is Bob, he hates your other allies, he knows they are targeting you. Vote out one of your own allies instead, not Bob. So, if there happens to be a case with Bob present and he is indeed your closest ally, you're going to vote out simply one of your normal allies. So, that is not true. If the closest ally is Luis, unfortunately not. We are simply voting for Luis. we're going to vote for the person clockwise from the intended person you intend to vote for, regardless if they are an ally or not. So if a person clockwise happens to be an ally or not, you will simply vote for them if they're one clockwise. So keep that in mind. If your closest ally is Jonathan, no, is one of my allies, but he's not the closest. Vote for the person that is 2 names counterclockwise from the person you originally need to vote. This only applies to people that are not your allies. In this case, it's important to recognize the distinction between these 2 votes. This wants you to move 1 clockwise, regardless of whether they're an ally or not, and this wants you to move 2 counterclockwise without including your allies in them. And the last rule is if your closest ally is Stacy, which it is not in this case, vote for the person directly across from the person you intend to vote for. If the person you land on is originally one of your allies, continue moving 1 name clockwise until you land on a name that is not one of your allies and vote for that person. So again, just make sure that you are able to distinct between ally and not, and make sure that some of the rules make sure the rule follows it. So. However, we don't have any of these characters present. We don't have any of these guys actually even present. Well, there was one present on the module. However, none of these rules apply. And we're simply going to be voting for the person that you're originally going to vote for, our intended vote. So let's vote for Luis. And just like that is a solved module. The name appears on the actual parchment paper, or whatever paper it is. And just like that is a solved module. Let's go over one more example. This module is pretty straightforward with what it asks you to do. It's just some of these rules, especially, you need to be careful with. So let's go over one final example. Any day now. All right, let's go into this one. Okay, we have the potential of Bob here too. That's interesting. So we have the alphabetic position of the first letter in the serial number is going to be a Papa, which is 16. That's going to be what we start with. And now we're going to multiply this by the amount of lit indicators we have on the bottom. In this case, there are none, so we're going to be adding 21 to this. So 16 plus the 21 is going to be 37. And now with this in mind, let's take a look at the northeast and southwest. So southwest, remember, is our column, which is Caroline, so C-A-R. And our northeast, which is our row, is going to represent Hannah. And now we're going to simply add this number to our current number. So it's going to be 37 plus the 4 that we get here. Plus 4 is going to be 41. And now what we're going to do is we're going to modulo this by 20, because it's not a negative, so modulo 20 is going to leave me with a 1. Okay, so now starting from the northmost here, we're going to move 1 clockwise to Hannah, and Hannah is our closest ally, and our other 2 allies is going to be Mark and Bob. So, now, let's take a look at the 3 people who are not our allies. So the batteries times the ports, in this case, is going to be 1 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to be doing 7 spaces clockwise. Or starting from Luis, we're going to do 3, and then 6, and then 1 more clockwise to a 7, which is Caroline. Now, let's take a look at the rules here. If your closest ally is Bob, nope. If your closest ally is Luis, nope. If your closest ally is Jonathan, nope. If your closest ally is Stacy, nope. Otherwise, we're going to vote for the person we originally vote for, Caroline. Just like that is a solved module. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.